I mean, they are quite tough to handle.
Go on this one, figure. That's how we like him. Right, welcome to Fishing Squad. Well, it's going to be rough. We're here, obviously. It's going to be rough. Just packed, just got everything ready to go down. But it's going to be fishable. So we've literally, I knew that pocket weather that highlights on the first bit of the video, the first video, it's actually going to drop to about 17 mile an hour, and I think it might drop a bit less than that. It's blowing westerly at the moment, so we're going to be able to fish. The only challenge will be landing fish, so we're not going to take any chance. We've got the net. We'll just worry about that when we've hooked. So I'm going to have a look, obviously, when we get down there where it's suitable to land fish and stuff, but we're just going to get down there first, get one on, and then we've got to be in it to win it. We'll just deal with it from there. So yeah, we've got a bag full of bait, got a couple of tinnies, flask, chum, alt rigs, lead, reels, everything's packed. So we'll see you at Mark. It's going to be a good video, I think, this. So we'll see what happens. You can see it's rough. That was quite mellow when I just put that last clip of video with that wave. That was quite mellow, but we're down, it's fishable. Just waiting for the sea to web out a bit. We're just waiting at the top above this mark because the waves have been up, right up. And yeah, they're still a bit wet. Just give it half hour just to make sure that there were no more waves coming up, and they haven't been. So it's fishable. Jesus, still. Wave, Jay. Here's a wave. Yeah, we're just being precautious, obviously, to start with. Well, we are anyway. And then take it from there. Probably just put one rod out to start with, see what the tide's doing. Yeah, it is fishable. There's been some epic waves, but we're alright on this ledge that we've got on. It's the main mark we use. Westerly on right cheek, but problem, like I say, it's going to reach the 17, which will be the difference. See how it's out, so should be all good, I don't know if you can hear it. It's what it is. It's on the edge. Anyone watching Gale back in day on Discovery Channel, fishing on the edge. That wasn't on the edge, this is on the edge. There's nothing clever though, is it, about fishing in rough conditions, you know. You've got to be careful, you've got to respect the sea, respect the environment you're fishing in and stuff, and no fish is worth your life, is it? So I think it's going to be a decent session. This it's like one of them ones where you just can sneak on just. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to get a rod tackled up anyway. I'll show you rig again. I'll show that knot again. That Wire-to-mono knot if you haven't bleached on enough about it. And we'll see how we get on. Basically, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Get in, come on. So I'm just baiting up first one. I'm just something we've started doing for this session. I did experiment a bit earlier on year with it, is put single hooks, because Sean Super fits into the Gemini splashdown. I just tie a piece of wire to hook and put a clip on the end of it, and that just clips in. It's a bit like the dongle rig if you like, but I should just stress this is no dongle rig. We don't do dongle rigs, do we, Jay? No. It's just purely, because if you hook anything through once like that, it just gives it something to clip it down with. That's all it's for. Jay hook, single hook, Sean, I see. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to get a bit of the oldie mackerel. Wind over, Jay.
What?
Time for your jab.
Yeah.
No, we're going to inject this bait with our oldie mackerel. So, see if it makes any difference every week. Right, so it's got a safety clip on this, but it's just difficult to open for some reason. Well, it comes off. It's not working out. Right, so this is the Injections Pike Pro Fox Rage, I think, Pike, it's not Pike, but Fox Rage injection kit. So we're just going to fill the syringe up. You can put air in your baits as well, that's the thing.
Does it float a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's float out. It's messy stuff. We'll just fill the syringe up like that. this. Jump in, Tope.
Might catch a Tope.
I might catch a Tope, yeah. Fall in at that. So it's a nice little bait that. Perfect. That is a perfect mouth size for a Tope. That's why it's not going to be a dongle rig really, because we're not relying on fish. We're relying on fish getting up on first pick up really, sharp point and hook. So yeah. So I'm just going to inject I've already elasticated it up. Just going to get it. That's probably more than enough for that, like, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get that banged out. Same with Jay's bait. It's just got a nice bit of scent coming off that. It's old frozen mackerel that, but it's probably been enhanced by that oil. You know what I mean? Fresh is far better than frozen, isn't it? But a bit of an enhancement. We're just trying to synthetically. I don't think it's synthetic. We're trying to, what do you call it? Artificially create the sense of fresh mackerel, not frozen. That makes sense. So we'll see how that goes. Get that banged out, and we'll get Jay's bait sorted as well. Out now. The swell's calmed a little bit as it's going out. It's still got a very fresh wind on our right cheek, but we're tucked in behind a bit of rock at the minute. Fairly comfortable. Secured up rod rest down. I've wedged one of them in a crevice. So I've strapped the other one to it. Just anchored it all down basically. Quite comfortable because cast out. It's a bit awkward cast out in this wind. It always is going to be. Out with casting in these conditions, you've got to make some sparrows getting any distance. You can get a good cast in amongst it. You know, one of them runs that I've cast out is quite decent. I think yours will fix more in the 2 man is it? Another one I've got, there's a pedal rig on one. Yeah, I just can't get it out. Big bait on very far, so I've trimmed my baits down on like the one that's got a strip of wire on, just so I can get a bit further out. That rig, by the way, with that dongle, if you like, it's not. Cast, I think that's perfected that rig now. You know, with the length it's new with that mono knot, I keep mono to wire knot, I keep leads on about no shoulder seal, and then a wire dongle where you clip it into your splashdown. It's absolutely perfect. So, with that rig as well, if you just fish like a mackerel with a little bit of shoulders, as soon as the fish picks it up, as soon as it starts to just run, you can hit into it and you look at every time. You don't need to like run for miles or all like that. I think that's key. Obviously, I'm not talking like an expert because I've never caught one this year. But I think it's key keeping tension on everything. So you think when a fish picks it up, it's going to move probably 8 to 10 yards before you probably even registers a bite in these tides sometimes, depending on where your line is. And obviously allow for stretching line, all that stuff. So yeah, see what happens, innit? What I'm saying with that is you want to keep everything tight. So watch the right hand rod here, you can see it just bouncing away. That's a ballast bite, that. Right, so obviously that then developed. We did have another hit here. I'm sorry about the sound in the background. The wind is shocking. I was just saying how quiet it'd been. We'd had a couple of baits had come back untouched, a couple of had been stripped. We're about 3 hours into the session here, I think, approximately. Just apologising again for the background noise with wind, but it was blowing an absolute hoolie. That bite did happen again, a similar sort of bite. I did hit it. I'll just leave the original sound on from now. You might want to turn your volume up or down depending if you like sound at wind, but if you want to hear my voice then you're going to have to turn it up. So I'm having to resort to doing voiceovers. Just got this Huss out. That bite developed into this Huss obviously. It gave me 2 decent bites. Well hooked on that single O'Shaughnessy. Really got confidence in them hooks. Should never change patterns. Well, right, nice one. £8.5. Flickering between 8.8 to 8.12. She's not quite nice, but she's a lovely fish. Right guys, we've got winds picked up as I predicted. I mean, you can see rods there. It's absolutely blowing a hooligan now. Another half hour time to bail off here. Getting a lot of spray blown up into the air from the strong wind up at the rods. Hopefully, I think we're going to have to spin you around. Right, yeah, so the sea turned to come in, the swell was increasing. It doesn't look as bad as what it actually is on camera. It looks bad, but it was worse. Oh, when you get white water like that in edge going so far out and sea's coming in, you're in trouble basically if you stay too long on any mark really, especially when you know wind's going to pick up. But yeah, we'll close session down here basically. Right, we're back up now. We're just planning on going out for an evening session. It's 6 o'clock at night. We're going to get stuff together, get down there, hopefully have rods in water by just after 7. And then we're just going to fish a rod each. Baits will be whiting and mackerel. We'll take a bit of oil down to inject some baits. Wait till about 10 if we ain't caught it, we'll probably come back up. But I think we'll get some Huss out, because it's a Huss smart what we're going on. So obviously today's session, a bit disappointed that we only had 1 fish out. But as you can see, it were really tough conditions. But we failed again on Tope basically. Not to worry though. Try again.
No conditions
tomorrow. Yeah, we did well to get a fish out. It was just tough day. Yeah, wind picked up, and you can see my face is flushed. Jay looks like he's been, I don't know, he's got windburn. So obviously, can you imagine seeing the effort we tried for a Tope this year? The last proper session is going to be tomorrow. I mean, there is a chance of a Tope up mark we're going on now, but probably a little bit unlikely, but you never know, do you? I've never had one in darkness. What else? O'Shaughnessy hooks, very much back in the good books. If I could have showed you a bit more footage of the Huss, how well it was hooked. Sometimes on camera, you just want to get the fish unhooked and not have the camera on it sometimes. It sounds a bit strange, but you feel if you've got the camera on when you're hooking a fish and it's well hooked, sometimes you feel like people are judging you. You're not even. It's like you're live, but you're not.
Tough fish and a tough hook.
Yeah, it was really tough, really toughly hooked to get out, and it come out fine. But it just proved a point to myself. I've used to use them all the time, O'Shaughnessy hooks, mustard bronze O'Shaughnessy's. It just proved a point to myself again. You know, when you go back to the Tope that got off, I know it's a Huss this, but I've had Huss on them fine wire hooks, and pulling the hook out, the hooks usually come straight out. We're an O'Shaughnessy, it don't like coming back on its barb. Usually I'd pull it through, cut your snood and pull it through, but with that one I pulled it back, it didn't like it. I probably should have showed you a video really, just to show you what you know, how you can hook them. It was tough to get out. But like I say, sometimes when you film stuff, you feel under extra pressure. Because it's like you're live. It's not live because you could edit it, couldn't you, and make it look good. Yeah, you just put yourself under more pressure sometimes. At least we had a bite on cue with the Huss. I don't know if you could see it in the video, but the rod tip just bounced twice, I think, and it were on. So, yeah. See how we get on tonight. We just want to top some numbers up of fish if we can, and then we're going to take 1 rod each just so we're concentrating on what we're doing rather than having everything going off at the same time. Jay's falling asleep.
Get some numbers of fish. That's what a fish.
Jay's falling asleep in chair. He's done him. We've done him. He's done.
I'm now asleep.
So we'll get down there and see how we get on again. Fingers crossed that we'll just get a few fish out into it. Right, we're just walking to the mark now. Should have rods out by about 7, I think, or maybe just after, like I say. I think we should get some Huss out, surely. Yeah, fortune favours the brave, God favours the brave, and all that. God loves a tryer. Not the Tope gods though. So, I was going to fish with one rod each, Tope rig, 8-0, O'Shaughnessy single, that wire dongle thing what I've been using. And then, just incidentally, that Huss wasn't caught on one of them rigs, it was caught on a pennel style rig with the O'Shaughnessy hook as the bottom hook. But we're finding that wire dongle was keeping everything nice and straight and in line when you cast. It was casting well, keeping it all nice and tightly clipped down, so you could put a bit more beef in you. No, we didn't lose much gear either. Obviously, if you're using a single J, you're going to lose a bit less gear out than a double pennel rig. I don't know if you can see, guys, who are walking down. It sounds a little bit rougher than what we expected to be. Can you hear it, Jay? Yeah, so we'll get down there, get set up, and then see what happens. Right, so when we first got down, it looked fishable, just. We've cast 2 rods out, and then we saw some swell developing over the course of a very short space of time, possibly 30 minutes. So I had a rough idea approximately when high tide was. I had a quick check on my phone, and it was a little bit later than what I thought, and I thought it's not going to be safe to stay on here. After a few breakers, as you can see on here, sort of hit the rocks, come from the right hand side of us with the wind, we basically got one bait out, and that was it. We just decided that it wasn't physically, you know, it wasn't practically safe to be down there, and we retreated everything to a higher ledge, packed down and headed back. It just wasn't safe. I'll just leave it running with a bit of music on, and then you might see some waves, you might not. Tomorrow, you know, it is what it is. I think I just picked the wrong mark for tonight, that's all. No, not on this side. Right, well, we're back safe in one piece. That's the main thing, isn't it? We're rough down there.
We made it back alive.
Yeah. No fish, unfortunately, but the fish aren't worth that, are they? You know what I mean?
Not worth risking life.
No. So we'll go again tomorrow. We'll have another go. Just put that out there. You know, safety first, isn't it, at all times? You know, if I bail off, he's never seen me bail off like that before. I will rocks and away before he was. But it is what it is, isn't it? You know, you want to be safe. You want to be safe.
Got a bit scared.
Yeah. It's just like when you see waves that are out at rock ledge you're on, you're just hoping they don't come off at top of you, aren't you?
Aren't they? Touch rod tickler a bit.
Yeah.
And you're telling me to go down and get rods.
Yeah.
You're riding halfway up. It's alright, Carl, I'll wait a minute.
It's alright if you can go back and laugh about it, that's the main thing. That's the main thing, so. Yeah, not the best of days. We had tough conditions. I knew it was going to be tough. We did well on Mark 1, you know, to get anything out and to actually be able to fish it for the duration we fished it, so we're happy with that. We're going to go again tomorrow. Hopefully, if we don't fish one side of this other point, we're going to fish the other side. We'll be out the window altogether, and we'll just fish it and fish it and fish it. We might get some black lug, put a flapper rig on one rod, and have Tope baits. So
2 Tope baits out and 2 baits for other fish.
Yeah. What we'll do is, Jay, we'll use my 2, you know, my 2 best rods. Yeah. We'll put Tope baits on them, and put flapper baits on the other 2. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes a cast like that.
Yeah, you did really well casting that, yeah. A lot better, wasn't it? We'll have a practice with slosh if you want. Have a slosh 30, have a practice with that way. Well, it's far easier in daylight, isn't it, to cast, so... Yeah, so we're going to do that tomorrow. We're just going to see if we can get some fish out, as well as, obviously, I think we might be done. I'm just watching Chelsea Man City here. Yeah, it's alright. Go on, Chelsea. Yeah, day one completed. At least we haven't blanked, but it's not necessarily what we wanted. Well, it's a team effort, innit, you know what I mean? I want to fish that sea on my own, you know what I mean? You need two people with you for stuff like that. You need two sets of eyes. So we've had a good day, but it's not been the best, obviously, in terms of fishing. But we'll get back on it tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow brings different things.
Just either some species or something half decent. So we'll be happy just getting a few hooks, won't we? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's frustrating, but it is what it is. So the Tope might miss us this year, but it is what it is, like I say. So we'll crack on, chill out tonight, have a couple of beers, and then we'll get back on it tomorrow and see what happens, innit? So see you at the next mark. Right, so we're on it again. It's next morning. I'm going to have to move voice over. There's quite a lot in this video, as you can see.
Across that way.
Where the wind hit him from sort of where the back address was, which is on our left cheek. As I went through the session, the swells really picked up.
It's like literally got the first base out.
I have to do some voice over.
So we're on it this morning. We have picked some, let's spin you around. We have picked some black lug up as well, so I think we're just going to start for big baits. If we struggle, we'll put a couple of flapper rigs out and one at rods. So, see how we get on. Not really confident of the Tope. I think we've missed that boat this year, but that's fishing it. We've been close. Then we'll have a go for him next year, obviously. We might get lucky today, you never know. I just don't think. I think we're just literally peeing in wind with these conditions, but you know it is what it is. We're gonna have a go. I'm expecting some Huss or something, or Congas or something like that at least. So we get on. Fingers crossed and all that as usual. I've got both rods out. Jason's put his second rod out. I've rebaited the first rod as well, so I've got fresh bait on. The breeze has picked up. The Gale force wind has picked up. There's some bigger swells coming down this corner. Looks like we're off on the left. Positive start, first bait. Right guys, we've had to move. We've come to Porth Coleman. We've roped it off as basically a dogfish session today. So I'll spin you around. You won't hear me, it's shocking weather. So we're at Porth Coleman, again wind's playing havoc. Just put a standard pulley rig on, I've got a circle hook as a back hook. Bottom hook was just a 2LJ I think, J hook. And we baits we're using a black lug and mackerel. So we'll see how we get on.
See, I think you keep the rope in tight, it should be alright. It might be a bit of a problem that, but we'll see. Let's pan round. Right, I've just moved to the left of the Porth Coleman Bay because there was too much weed in the actual cove itself, so it's come to the left of these rocks. We haven't had any bites. We've had about 2 or 3 baits up, so I'm just trying to recover this now. So a couple hours of time to see how we get on. It's about, I think we're just after low tide now, so we'll see what happens. Jay might have a bite. I don't know if you can see very well. It's going in it, yeah? Yeah, right. Yeah?
Yeah, it takes that.
Right, he's off at mark. Are you alright, mate? Yeah. It's not a game, it's just it's first fish had all the last 2 days we've been here. So obviously he's going to be delighted with that.
Abby.
Tiny.
Yes, that's Jay off the mark. So, yeah, it's Jay off the mark for 2 days. So it's better than catching nothing, isn't it? You can see, I'll spin you around. You can see how hard it's been for us. Obviously, we did all right. Just make sure the light is out. We did all right yesterday in terms of being able to fish, but not to catch a fish. And today, we're struggling again. But it's okay. We're okay. We'll see if we can get some more fish out. Basically, we'll just get a few dogfish out. That'll do us for now. It's not what we've come for. But you just take what's on offer, don't you? It's better that you're not going to catch fish sat at bungalow. So yeah, there's blank savers, aren't there? We'll see how it does. I don't think anything too special is going to turn up. We may be returning yet. Yeah, we may be returning. It might not be the last attempt for Tope. It's on the roll now, Jay. Lad, he's actually into one of a doggy, I think. Let's see if we can find him down here without breaking my neck. Jay, you've got one on, but you need to be careful because it's coming straight over the top of this rock. Wind like mad. Yeah, that side, that's it. Wind like mad. It's on, I've seen fish. He's stuck or is it free? What? The rig's on the rock there, that's all. It's coming, you've got it. Keep winding, keep winding, keep winding, keep winding, keep winding. It's on rock again. That's it, you got it. Yeah, it's a little doggy. I'm not going to show you much footage, but that's another fish for Jay. We'll get him sorted, get him back. Nice one, Jay. Finally got off the mark. But I don't know what he's done to my rig body, it's alright, so we're just going to give it a bit longer, I think. Jay's had 2 doggies, I've had 1. We've got the wind on our backs at least here. There's no chance of getting a Tope, I won't think, off here. You'd have to probably go further around to the left somewhere. Obviously we're not fishing for Tope now, so that's the other thing why I won't get a Tope off here. I've just had the old injection syringe out again, just to see if while doggies were feeding, to see if they respond to it any quicker than just not injecting bait. It's not made a difference yet, so just put it on the last bait up, so we'll see if it does make a difference or not. Oh, it's not very comfortable on these rocks. The side's coming in, I reckon it's been coming in about 2 hours now. We're ending this on a bit of a low, really, though, in terms of our hopes for. Oh, you've just got a bite, Jay. I think you've got a doggy bite then. You just went once. Yeah, I think we're just ending it on a bit of a low. We've just managed to get, come out tonight now just to try and get some fish. But I suppose it back of our heads, we knew we were a risk coming through for these 2 days. We did well to get on the Tope mark yesterday. And you've got to be in it to win it, haven't you, sometimes? And it was literally probably the only time in the last few days when you could get on it. It's a bit disappointing, but we may be back again before Christmas, so just have to try again, won't we? Simple as that. So we'll bring you back if we get anything else. Right, we're back in car. We had 4 dogfish between us, 2 each. Bit disappointed, but we knew we were going to be on the limits. Like I say, I think I mentioned earlier on the video, we did well to get out yesterday and do the amount of fishing we did do. If you're not very productive, we were on the money where we went yesterday, and then obviously last night, what it's taught us really is just to respect the sea. You know, we never had anything too close because we are safe in what we do. But sorry, oops, stop it now. Back again. We are safe what we do and stuff, but it's you know, just watching the waves and hearing them hit the rocks, and for a few split seconds thinking, is it going to get us? Which it never really got close enough to get us. We had spray at us, but in terms of the full brunt of the wave, we were safe. It just reminded us that you need to be safe around water. You know, fish aren't worth your life at the end of the day, and at least we managed to get a bit of fishing in tonight. It's just a bit of a shame.
We've done well up there, haven't we, really?
we've done well with weather, like Jay says we have. But it is a long way to come for one bullus and for dogfish in it, really.
See how long it's come for 2 dogfish.
But you know, we don't come here to catch fish. Obviously, we want to catch fish, and we enjoy the fishing regardless of whether we catch fish or not. But we don't, you know, we do want them big fish. But you know, I was just saying earlier, you're not going to catch fish by not having a rod in water, are you? So. Conditions were tough. We know a couple of marks that are sheltered, like this one. It's sort of sheltered, but when it's blowing that hard, you still get some draft of it on your back or on your face, sometimes, or on your side, sort of thing. So it's not always 100% comfortable on any mark around here when it's doing that. So yeah, like I say though, I think we will have another go before the end of the year. So we've enjoyed it, and we will. Be back very soon. We might have a trip to the Humber before we come back here though, just to see how that's fishing. I've heard it's been fishing reasonably well, so I'm going to take out gear back tomorrow and we'll have a go on Humber. So other than that, I don't think there's anything else to add. That last, I actually caught a dogfish on an injected bait, so it does work. But a lot of the fish have been caught on baits that haven't been injected, so it's just a theory, isn't it? Just to see. You know, it's interesting to test stuff into it, so yeah.
I didn't think fish liked it, I remember. Yeah.
No. So yeah, right. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that we couldn't produce something a bit better, but you know, it's nice being away, it's nice being out, it's nice fishing, and we'll be back. We'll be back soon. So hopefully our luck will change a bit next time, and you know, everything will go to plan. But other than that,
weather plays ball.
yeah, weather's been a big factor, hasn't it? Clearly, some footage I've got at waves, it doesn't do it justice. Every time I got camera out, they quelled down. Then as soon as I put it away, like one had hit the rocks and a load of spray would go up in air. Well, fantastic to see. If a bit worrying, but it's nice being out into it with nature and fighting the elements. We fought the elements, of course, some fish, obviously, but. It's been a bit disappointing in terms of how many we've caught and what we've caught, but it is what it is. So at least we didn't blank tonight. So yeah, we're back very soon anyway. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.